Hello, my luminaries and Mysterians. It is good to be as back as I can be. Now, I say that having just returned from the cardiologist office and got interesting news that my ejection fraction of my heart, which if a strong man's heart is doing the perfect work in a perfect world, your ejection fraction would be 100%. But honestly, most people have between like 75 and 90 some odd percent. Okay, typically, because none of us are actually perfect and none of us are perfectly operating. People start shutting off at the 35% range, and I'm below 25. I'm between 20 and 25. They can't give me an exact number because the lower that number climbs or falls, lower that percentage falls, there's no point in measuring it much lower because people don't survive into the teens. Most people shut off between 25 and 35%. Some people at 25% with a pacemaker can keep going. I have a pacemaker and defibrillator installed. I have metallic heart valve. But my ejection fraction's to the point where coming up the stairs is enough to wind me. And my office is upstairs. So, like, you're catching me at pretty much, I came in, sat down, turned on the lights, and turned on the camera. This is me most days. I'm lucky if I can get an hour or two of productive work out of a 24-hour day. It's to the point where I have to seriously consider signing my last will and testament and deciding where things go, what happens to my things. I don't know. I have to say, I'm not scared. I mean, I've been dead before. It's hard to say that and not giggle, because I've been dead before. I've been legally considered dead. I mean, I was like, I have 4 times in my life woken up inside of a body bag. Yes, I'm one of those people so damn happy that they got the key flap thingy on the inside so you can unzip it. Okay. I have endured a lot, a great deal. I made a Facebook post the other day about, and my buddy, a really very long-term friend, one of my oldest actual friends, took the part where I was talking about the damage I've endured, and then basically made it out like it was a lost and found ad, and he added it in. Responds to the name Lucky. Turk, I love you. You're chief of chiefs. And are you a baron now? Is the household a barony? I really don't know. House 3 Skulls. House 3 Skulls for life. See, we have 3 skulls. That's why I can't die easily. It's because you think you could kill me, but we have 3 skulls. 1 for thinking, 1 for fighting, 1 for a spare. They go by the respective names of Mo, Larry, and Curly. Yep. We have 3 skulls. 3 skulls are our banner. 3 skulls. You know something? I remember when the group of us were crazy teenagers / post-teen, early adult, post-high school adults. And, the things we did, if we lived today and pulled off some of the shit we pulled off, we'd probably all have felony records. Not to say that we really did anything all that horrible, but, if you recorded everything we did, if we recorded every form of stupidity we committed, we'd probably have gotten something out of it, and it probably would have been a record. I am now at the sunset of my days. I have to admit that my ejection fraction is between 20 and 25%. And I can survive with that, but it basically means my heart's got to work 5 times as hard to do the same work your heart's doing. If you're in good condition, decent condition. And I'm talking fit. Not everybody's fit. I mean, until January 1st of 2015, I had an athletic heart rate, even with a metallic heart valve. I had a 60 at rest heart rate, which is considered athletic, because most people's heart has to work harder to do the at rest work that you do, because people are not in perfect shape. I was in excellent shape for a man with the wheels falling off the bus. But January 1st of 2015, my body decided, hey, let's just try something new! And it went off into the hinterlands, and I woke up with 168 heart rate. Alright, I had serious and chronic, because it did not stop. It was on my at-rest heart rate was like 120 on average. I made it down to close to 100 sometimes, but more times I was in the 130s. So I'm kind of lucky to pull off a 120. And then they had to put in the pacemaker and defibrillator because my ejection fraction was so small, just to guarantee that my heart would keep pushing if it could. So I'm going to be dead. They're going to have to pull my heart out of me, and my pacemaker is still going to be trying to fire. I don't know what to say about that. It's only been installed a year ago. Battery life is supposed to be about 10 years. Practically it's 8 before they have to install. But it's one of those things that will read 8-year lifespan until it suddenly is reading like 6 or 5. Kind of like your gas tank, how it's full, 3/4 of the tank. So, yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at a lot of things. I have some projects that have to make it to fruition. One of them is this, YouTube. I have decided that before I die, I will see what I consider success on YouTube, which is honestly a sustainable income. Realize I've lived for over 20 years on disability. Okay, I have to survive on $684 a month. Do you know what it's like to live on $684 a month? Well, you don't usually have all the nice things, and I have a lot of nice things. Some of these are at the behest of my girlfriend. Some of them are things that I have continued to drag along. The bomb back there, the bomb, the bomb. It's the Fallout anthology. Which I think came out right about the time of Fallout 4. That is an acquisition I paid for out of the less than $100 I have to play with after I pay the necessary bills, keep the roof over my head, lights on for me, and pay my cell phone bill, pay the internet, because the internet is what allows me to do all this lovely stuff, like talking to you. But honestly, I really would like to see some marginal success on this. I mean, and I don't want guilt success, like 10,000 subscribers. I'm not looking for a subscriber count. I'm honestly just looking to get off of disability before I die. It seems kind of backwards, but the fact is, I've been on disability so long, I'm feeling its strangling effects on my life. And it's not that I can't buy what I want or do what I want. I can barely do anything. It's exhausting me just to talk right now. And most of my friends who know me know I can't shut the hell up. So, all that included, where do I stand? I'm going to try to live stream as long as I can. I'm going to try to push as hard as I can. Now, I'm not always pushing on this channel, alright? And when I say this channel, this is actually going to be cross-loaded on almost all my channels. Alright, there are two that I really haven't made any content for, that I'm really disappointed that I haven't made content for. But I have 4 channels that I really am pushing. That is the illumANark gaming channel. Ding! Thin the Horde. Thin the Horde is pretty much where I usually play State of Decay or Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Now, Shadow of Mordor will be upgraded to Shadow of War, become the beginning of the next month, 10th of next month. And that's what I've been tending to do. Now, actually, Thin the Horde is all about thinning the orcish and zombie hordes everywhere. I probably should play World of Warcraft on that channel, but I can't. I have a hard time bringing myself around to that, and honestly, for most part of when it comes to World of Warcraft, I've been an orc through and through. Zug zug. That's just me. But honestly, so I'm trying to State of Decay, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, Orcs Must Die Unchained. Stuff like that I play on that channel. Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah. On my primary channel, when I do live stream, I think I'm live streaming Black Desert Online. Because you know something, I love that game. It is the D&D campaign I wish I had. The digital D&D campaign I wish I had as a kid. The D&D campaigns I wish I had as a kid, I did have as a kid. Alright, I remember playing Traveler, which at one point I think was called Traveler 2600. Anyway, the Traveler we were playing at one point, and I was playing a Clydian Warlord. My buddy Turk let me play a Clydian Warlord with his 75 caliber revolver and his Clydian Warlord equivalent of a Mongol broadsword. Yeah, that was that was. I remember there was a friend of mine, Mark the Mongol. The quote, his most famous quote from that particular thing, when we were being overrun by an alien equivalent of the Zulu horde. It was, we're all gonna die. Well, we survived, but barely. We made it to the point that we could step off on a starship and get the heck off that little plot of land. But we survived the alien equivalent of Zulu Dawn. So, sorry, being expressive is taking a lot out of me. So, I do a lot of, on the Thin the Horde, I do a lot of, orc and zombie slaying madness. And on my illumANark gaming channel, I play the one game I really do love to spend the most amount of time in, because it's very immersive and it's very contributory, and you take part in the world, not just exist in it as soul wandering hero. Then other channels I am actively trying to push content onto are Bad Strategy and Tactics, where I basically play my strategy and tactics games. Oh wow, imagine that. And Bad Strategy and Tactics is by Actual Design Strategy and Tactics. But that's where I play strategy and tactics games. And including World of Tanks, Dreadnought, and there are a couple others. Right now I can't bring to mind. Actually, I have a blistering headache. So when it comes spinning about, I'm trying to bring about some sense of order. There are other channels that I'm running, but two of them I'm, like I said, not producing any content for yet. And with my shortened capacity, it's harder and harder to get any content out. I got the Explorers News Network, which was originally going to be a news channel where I was doing the news over like extreme sports footage. But that's, who knows where that's going still. And the two channels I haven't gotten much on are Adjusted Paranoia and The Faceless Storyteller, because I know this is one heck of a mug to have to look at. So I still have Stormcastle Computing. Have fun storming the castle! That'll be coming up soon. We are in the final prototype stage, where we just have to make sure the prototype works. And other than, when I say make sure the prototype works, I mean works as I want to advertise it, which is going to be, hopefully, as the console for PC gamers, which is still a PC tower. It still has all the accoutrement of a PC tower, but the minimum requirement is that it's an MLG level game computer, okay, for Major League Gaming. So if they want, what they would have as the minimum, that's our minimum. We don't go below that. Including, we use the same screens, the same keyboard, mouse, headset. I think they use Razer headsets, but I don't remember if it was Razer or okay. So that's the Mind's Eye Tower with Storm Castle Computing. That's coming out soon. And other projects. Other projects are now lost to my thought process, and it seems that I don't have my notebook with me, as I wasn't smart enough to bring it up here. So we will continue along with phenomena. My typical thought process is that I'm not saying goodbye. I am saying I am facing some horrendous challenges. I have narcolepsy, which means I fall asleep at the drop of a hat. I now know that part of that is because my heart's not able to work hard enough. And I also have insomnia, which means I can't sleep very long, or very well at all. So it's like I'm on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And I seem to only get about an hour productive. Sometimes 2 or 3. I'm really, really fortunate. So where do we stand? Well, I'm taking a class by a very good friend of mine, Bryant Chambers. The 69 Pillars of Success. It is a free program as compared to other programs that are trying to push you towards success and, having varying degrees. This is you have to be invested in your own personal success. You have to have skin in the game. Your skin in the game is you. So he's doing some of the heavy lifting. The first couple of videos have dropped, but he's planning well over 69 videos. It's just, the point is these are pillars of success, and pillars are what you build something upon. That's what you create something greater from. A lot of pillars were used to hold up the roof of the Athenaeum. Excuse me, I may get the name wrong. But the temple to Athena in Greece. Many, many pillars were used to support that roof strongly. And, that building is still standing centuries later, despite all of the depredations of war, countless wars since it's been put up. It's all... See, this is what I mean. This is why it's even difficult to live stream for anything near an hour. And of course, and live streaming for less than an hour, people get dissatisfied. You stream more than an hour, and I'm exhausted. Can't be useful at all in my own life. And that's very tough to realize when you're useless to yourself. You're the person who needs to be useful to you. I need to be useful to me. And but I'm taking the 69 Pillars of Success program from Bryant Chambers. He's and that's giving me something to build on. Some of the stuff I've already heard, but sometimes it's good to hear it again. Because there are a lot of things that get recycled in the self-help industry, because there's only so much you can do short of doing the work for someone. And if you do the work for someone, then it's giving them help, but not showing them how to help themselves. I have to help me. I'm going to fight every day, because my one word is overcome. I will too overcome this. I don't know how. I don't know when. And one day my overcoming may just me going to meet my maker. In either extent, I am going to push forward. You should push forward. And if you are an illuminary or a Mysterian, that is the whole crux of being an illuminary or a Mysterian. Or if you're both an illuminary and a Mysterian, someone who brings forth light into the world and someone who searches out the mysteries. If you're both, that's great. I am the illumANark. I'm head of the Council of illumANarks. The Council of illumANarks is actually a small group of people whom I consider to be my absolute peers. Most of them are lifelong friends. But you know something? I'm looking to open those ranks up before I die. And if I open up those ranks before I die, maybe I'll get a chance to see you in them. If you've gotten to this point, why don't you say the council in the description, in your comment. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you are not already a subscriber, and know that I will push each day to show that you should push each day until you reach your goal, your reward, your end. You should push each day. I've kept you guys here for 26.5 minutes, and I am sorry at that I've rambled on that long, because I know I can meander off into the woods. So I hope I've kept it, pretty much solid for you. And with that, I have to say, peace out to you today. Peace out to you tomorrow. Peace out to you always. And as always, peace out.